Okay, so you've probably seen the headlines, maybe heard people talking, this idea that AI is going to take your job. It's everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's a big topic. Definitely causes some anxiety.
But the thing is, what our sources are showing, it's a bit more nuanced than that. The maybe scarier truth.
Yeah.
It's not really the AI itself.
Exactly. That's the critical point we need to unpack. AI on its own probably won't replace you directly,
Right.
but the person who really gets good at using AI tools, that
Yeah.
person, yeah, they might.
Okay. So that's the real challenge.
That's the challenge and the opportunity, really. So what we want to do in this deep dive is get into that, look at what the sources say, and hopefully give you some clarity, maybe a path forward for your own career.
All right, let's jump right in then. So the sources suggest AI isn't just a replacement. It's more like leverage, a tool that amplifies what you can do, not just swaps you out. Is that right?
That's a great way to put it, leverage. It's not about substituting talent necessarily, but making it go further faster. It shifts the bottlenecks.
How does that work in practice, though? What kind of leverage are we talking about?
Well, think about this example I came across. Pretty striking.
Mm-hmm.
A freelancer, right? Created a $500 logo. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it in 3 minutes using AI.
3 minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's not about, years mastering Photoshop or color theory in the traditional sense.
Right, not traditional skill.
It's pure leverage.
Mm.
The skill shifts, doesn't it?
Mm.
From doing the detailed work yourself to knowing how to ask the AI for the right thing, how to guide it.
That changes things fundamentally. So it's not quite the robots taking over movie plot.
Not directly, no.
It's more like humans using the machines are getting way ahead of humans not using them.
Precisely. Humans with machines outsmarting, or at least
Yeah.
outproducing humans without them.
And you're saying this isn't theoretical, it's happening now in writing, design.
Oh, yeah. Across the board. Writing, design, definitely marketing, coding, too. It's a real wake-up call if you're, hoping to just keep doing things the old way.
Okay, give us some more concrete examples. You mentioned writing.
Sure. So take content writing. Traditionally, maybe a good writer produces 1, perhaps 2 solid, polished articles a day.
Okay, yeah. Sounds reasonable.
Now, compare that to someone who's learned to work with something like ChatGPT. They might generate outlines, drafts, ideas, and suddenly they're putting out, say, 5 articles in the same amount of time.
5. But are they any good? Is it just churning out junk?
That's the crucial part. No, not necessarily junk at all. They're using the AI for the heavy lifting, the initial drafting, maybe even some SEO optimization research.
SEO optimization,
Yeah.
so making sure search engines like Google find it easily.
Exactly. And then the human refines it, adds the unique insight, the polish. So you get speed and quality. It's a huge advantage.
Okay, that makes sense. You're leveraging the speed, but still need the human touch for strategy and refinement. What about design? You mentioned that too.
Same principle. Tools like Midjourney, for instance.
Mhm.
You type in a description, and it creates these incredible images.
I've seen some of those. They're amazing.
Right, so certainly someone without formal art training maybe doesn't know about perspective or color theory in depth. They can still create really impressive visuals.
And you had an anecdote about that. Someone making money.
Yeah, this story, someone apparently made $5,000 selling logos. Just generated using AI images. No Photoshop skills, no design degree, just good prompts and maybe good eye for what works.
Wow, okay. So it really feels like it's not that talent is irrelevant now.
No, meta relevant.
But speed is just dominating.
Speed is winning. That's a good way to put it. The ability to conceptualize quickly, to prompt the AI effectively, to evaluate the output, iterate, those are becoming the killer skills.
Which brings up the question, who is most at risk here? Because the common idea is, oh, it's just the repetitive, low-skill jobs that AI will take over.
Yeah, that's the narrative you hear a lot. And look, those jobs are definitely vulnerable, probably the first to see major changes.
But it's not only those jobs.
Not at all. That's the key thing to grasp. Even high-skill roles. If the person in that role refuses to adapt, refuses to integrate these AI tools into how they work, they are absolutely at risk. Significant risk.
So, like, what kind of high-skill roles are we talking about?
Well, think about accountants using AI for data analysis and reconciliation. Recruiters using it to screen candidates. Video editors using AI for rough cuts or transcription. Coders using tools like GitHub Copilot to write code faster.
Right, Copilot suggests code as you type.
Exactly. All these fields are already seeing AI assistance, augmentation, sometimes partial automation.
So if you're in one of those fields and you just ignore it, hope it goes away.
You're going to get slower, relatively speaking. And if you're slower, you're less competitive, and eventually,
Yeah,
Yeah, you risk being replaced by someone who did adapt. It's pretty stark when you think about it.
It does sound a bit daunting. But you also framed this as an opportunity earlier. So how do people flip this, turn the threat into an advantage?
That's the positive spin, and it's very real. Because if you do embrace this, if you learn to master these tools, AI stops being a threat and becomes your, well, your secret weapon, your unfair advantage almost.
An unfair advantage. I like the sound of that.
Think about it. Imagine being able to do the work that used to take 3 people, but you do it in the time it used to take 1.
Okay, that's powerful.
And this isn't some sci-fi future I'm talking about. People are doing this now, today.
So how do you team up with AI, practically?
It starts with looking at your own workflow. What parts are repetitive? What parts could an AI handle, even partially? Then it's about learning the tools, how to prompt effectively, how to integrate them.
So you offload the grunt work to the AI.
Exactly. And you free up your human brain power for the stuff AI can't do well yet.
Yeah.
The critical thinking, the complex problem solving, the creativity, building relationships, understanding nuance. That's where your value multiplies.
So it's not about fighting AI or ignoring it. It's about partnering with it, becoming like a human AI hybrid professional.
That's a good way to think about it. A hybrid. It's about adaptation, evolution. That's the name of the game.
So really the message is, don't fear AI itself. Fear staying the same while everyone else around you is leveling up using AI.
Precisely. Which leads us, I think, to the final, most important question for you listening right now, reflecting on all this.
Go on.
Are you actively adapting? Are you learning to team up with AI? Or are you, maybe without realizing it, just waiting to be replaced?